5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Okay, hey everybody, welcome back to Go Get Your Shine Box, the most informed podcast that you're ever going to listen to. And today, as usual, I got Joe and Paul from New Jersey. How you guys doing?
Aloha.
Aloha. I haven't heard that one in a couple of episodes.
Yeah, well, there's somebody that's been keeping my mind on Hawaii lately.
Oh, please don't even go there, man.
What?
The simps have come out. Hello from hey from New Jersey.
Oh
But,
boy, yeah.
The simps have come out simping for that Hawaiian Hindu poontang.
Just saying, Tulsi Gabbard is going to be our next president. Maybe not the next one, but coming up, she'll be the president.
I think she's Paul's got her on a 5-year observation list. So,
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Hey, is that better?
Yeah, I believe so. You got the
All right.
message.
Adrian.
Okay. Yeah. What's her name? Tulsi?
Tulsi
Gabbard. I don't know. It just seemed. I don't want to get on that, but I'm going to say it real quick. It just seemed awful quick that she jumped, and then all of a sudden she's out with Carrie Lake.
It wasn't really that quick. I mean, she's been trying to hang on. No.
I just don't trust the transition that quick.
Can I speak? I got to protect my girl. She's been trying to make a change here. Actually, she's been fighting with the Democrats for a while, trying to keep them on track, and they just derailed. And she's like, "Shit, I'm not gonna go on. I'm out." And I don't blame her. So she might not align with everything that I believe in, but she does love this country, and she does respect our freedom, and she does love our Constitution, and that's really, that's half the battle.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure I align with everything I agree with. So
true.
That's a little Groucho Marxism.
Mr. Gloom and Doom here, he doesn't give anybody any kudos for anything ever. Everybody,
I don't know who you're referring to.
He's referring to me.
Okay.
So I'll just tell you this.
Well, speak up.
She is approved opposition. It is fake bullshit.
Whoa, easy now. Be careful.
Yeah, and as far as the
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
And as far as the Constitution goes, she wants your guns, right?
No, I don't believe that.
Okay, yeah, like Beto said, no. I'm not really coming for your AR. I mean, people have to sooner or later learn that politicians, they speak words and they're full of shit. All right. The first guy that I can remember in my whole damn lifetime who said what he meant and meant what he said was Trump, and they friggin' crucified him.
And whoa! You were like anti-Trump for a long time. He didn't do a good enough job. He was too soft. Blah.
Yeah, I was anti-Trump after he didn't call for fucking martial law and disband the government. That's what I was anti-Trump about.
So you didn't go right enough.
He should have crossed the damn Rubicon and burned the whole freaking thing down. That's why I was anti-Trump.
Yeah, he probably should have got a boat and crossed the Delaware.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll get another shot. We'll see.
I don't think he's got the steel, but
he's got to run. He's got to run. I think I'm going to have to run.
I don't see anybody. We need a Franco. All right. We need a guy who is willing to kill people. All right. I'll give you some.
Wait, we already have those. They're called the Democrats.
I'll give you some blank space there, in case you need a little edit. No,
I get that the the hyperbolic statement. I really do. And all kidding aside, we have a party that's okay with death when it suits their agenda, and that's serious. I mean, as you could see by looking around.
Well, they've already killed. We spent 5 years with Trump supporters getting their freaking teeth kicked in. We've had multiple killed, assassinated.
Attempted assassination. Plus,
No,
did you see this?
Actual assassinations.
Well,
the Clintons have been doing it for years.
Yeah,
that's my point.
Well, they have full cover.
We need, first of all these talking heads from CNN, MSNBC, they need to either be put in prison or out of the country or off the planet. Personally, I would do it publicly as a message to anybody who wants to spread the intel propaganda. Intel community is going to be harder to do. I don't know how you do that. You'd have to get the military behind you.
Well, first of all, we assume, and I'm going to assume this because we're civilized, and this is when we wear civilized hats and we dress civilized and we eat with forks and knives. The midterm election is essentially supposed to be a stopgap or a stop bleed, if you will. It's supposed to put, assuming that the big win comes through, it's supposed to put a stop to the Pelosiism, the Chuck Schumer nonsense, the ridiculous spending. Okay, that's what we're hoping for. That's what this big whole thing is for, and it's supposed to set up a Republican president for 2024. And the only thing that the 2024 president can do to solve any of this, and I believe we touched on this once before, is, and I don't like the word decimate because it literally means reduce by 10%. It's not decimate, it's
the
destroy.
Colloquial meaning, though, it works.
Okay. Well, the colloquial meaning, he'll have to get rid of almost the entire military cadre, all the top end.
Yeah.
Part of the middle management. You have to gut the intelligence. You have to treat the FBI like there's a malignancy, and you have to go in and you have to go into the margins. And when I say into the margins, you're going to have to go into some of the rank and file and get rid of those too. Because
absolutely, yes.
So you would. How many employees are there in the federal government employees? Off the top of my head. Well, but let me put it this way. Conservatively speaking, a president would have to come in, and unless he's willing and able to do this, he would have to come in and terminate 5,000 people, conservatively speaking, no pun intended, in order to get that going. The problem with that is the wave it would cause to rehire that many people, which, by the way, you don't need. Right. You don't need that many. We can reduce the entire government by 30%. We wouldn't even know it.
Yeah.
But there would be a political price to pay for getting rid of that many people and trying to reemploy that many people all within even a 6-month time period.
Yeah, the problem is so large that it's probably not fixable in one lifetime. But we are. I don't even know if we are beyond saving.
Well,
you got to start somewhere.
And by the way, for some reason the number 800,000 strictly federal employees sticks out. I want to say it's more, but
in all forms of government,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, the government is the biggest employer in the country.
Yeah.
I thought Walmart was, but they probably surpassed them.
I think they are, and there's so much. The Department of Education needs to be gone. Gone.
Yeah, but nothing in my humble opinion, based on fact and education and history as well. Unless you can get rid of those 5,000, you can't do anything. Did you hear what Mark the new revelation from Mark Milley? I think this is fairly new. I think I just saw it over the weekend. He actually, I don't know where it came out. It was in a statement or an email. During the Trump administration, he said, probably not to Trump directly, I am not quitting. I'm going to stay here and undermine the administration. That's my job, is to undermine the administration. So he's in power now, and he looks at what he's doing to the military. COT subscriber, and the whole 9 yards. So this guy openly admits treason.
I was just gonna say that's treasonous. They should just shoot him, firing squad.
Well, they already caught him calling the Chinese and warning the Chinese about a possible war and countermeasures. That was executable, I believe is the term. Yeah, that's a capital crime.
Yeah.
Well, if we don't start prosecuting, charging, and imprisoning people in government that have been breaking laws, we got nothing. And they're not doing that.
Here's the thing. This is why the Q movement took off, because people understand how big this problem is, how entrenched the corruption is, and they know that the only way to bring it down is from the inside. But we got no power inside, or very little anyway.
And they're trying to keep a good tab on that too.
Yeah. As far as the military, anybody that Obama ever touched, and let me tell you this, if history does not record that electing a black communist piece of trash was the beginning of the end of this country, then everybody's lying. But anybody he appointed, anybody he put in the military, all of it. He purged the military. Well, you know all these things.
He has to go. But it doesn't matter if I know it. Talk to the audience, because the guy has these people have to go. And it is actually disgusting. And by the way, it goes back to Clinton. Clinton devastated the intel community a lot of different ways. And we can actually talk about that as one of the big gaffes of presidential history. He was responsible for quite a few. I'm going to put this. Intelligence folks overseas dying because he left them out. He literally left them out to dry. Exposed them. Yep. Exposed them and left them out to dry, or in this case, die. The guy.
I don't remember the number, but there were many assets who got disappeared because of him.
Yeah. He was the one that came out and I forget what the so-called law was, but the intelligence community was no longer. You could no longer use nefarious characters as assets. That was one of the biggest portions of it, and as a result, the assets that were being used were hung out there and exposed. So yeah, I'm actually, because of the age of the tenure of the CIA at the time, I'm actually, I know this is going to sound a little wild, but I'm actually surprised Clinton's still walking around, because there was a lot of high-level intelligence people that got swept under because of him. And I don't want to sound like I'm promoting it, but if you recall, our intelligence used to be pretty fierce in this country, our intelligence agencies.
Well, they killed Kennedy.
Well, yeah, I mean, there you go. I mean, as we talked about before, going back to some of the operations that they pulled, but guys are pretty bad. And now you would probably, back to my original theme, you'd probably have to go into those agencies too, including the NSA, and clean them out. You can't have an indoctrinated college kid working intelligence as an intelligence analyst or an officer. You just can't.
There's the problem, because we allowed this to infect academia.
Yeah.
So now we've got 2 generations of ideologues whose very beliefs will destroy the country and are. And,
well, yeah, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea to be a devout Marxist and work for the CIA.
Yeah, Brennan.
Yeah. Those things just don't go together. That's when
How
that
the hell
happened.
Was he even there, or was?
We used to kill communists.
Yeah, we absolutely right. We did. I don't know how Brennan was there. It was when that happened. That was the beginning of the end, though. We all knew, in your face, there's nothing you could do about it. And for some reason, Chuck Schumer was able to articulate that when he told Trump. I think it was Trump, wasn't it? No, it was Kavanaugh. Yeah, intelligence agencies will get you 7 waves from Sunday.
Yeah, he was talking about Trump then.
Was he?
Yeah, because Trump, I don't know, he probably made a comment against the intel agencies, and then he made that comment on whatever it was, 60 Minutes or.
Yeah, well, 50 of the most quote unquote influential intelligence experts got caught in a lie, one of the biggest lies of the century. So there you go.
And no repercussions.
No, but if you call Adam Schiff, Shifty Schiff, and you call Swalwell, Fang Swalwell, you get you get sentenced to 4 months in jail because you can't tease Congress.
Yeah.
It's
a mess. the elections, I have come to the conclusion, are just the public facing shiny object at this point.
Well, it's been
Because
said before. Yeah.
yeah, what's going to happen? Okay, Republicans take the House. What? So our decline slows down a little bit.
Well, see, the problem, Paul, and I don't necessarily want to call this pushback, but for the sake of a good discussion, I will. Um, you, at this point, and again, it's just my opinion, but based on what we see, at this point, we still have to accept that as being the not the end all, but as being the civil
Well,
solution.
the only thing that we've got.
Yeah.
And
Well,
as far
it's
as
not the only thing we got, but the only thing that we can do right now that's civil.
yeah, well, that may change because events are unraveling. And as far as pushback goes, I welcome it. On the marginal chance that you could ever um, uh, articulate something to show that I was wrong about something, I would welcome it.
Well, that's low hanging fruit.
It's funny. I was thinking the same thing.
See now, and that's where humor makes us a little different than a lot of other people. Because how
Yeah.
did you just jump from total revolution to humor? That's because that's what we
Well,
do.
yeah. What is it? The one of the Stoics said, "You either laugh or you cry." You know that famous saying.
Yeah.
That's
Well, one of my most famous quotes is,
oh boy.
"I wouldn't join a country club that would have me as a member." So, yeah, because I'm a Marxist. I'm a Groucho Marxist.
Oh yeah, right.
But anyway, no, yeah, it does make for a better conversation. And there's also, and I put this, I think Bob Dylan said it once before. It's not that we see things very differently; we just see them from a different point of view sometimes. That's all. He said it a little more eloquently with a guitar behind it, but yeah. So I'm still, and we have plenty of talks offline, and obviously there's a little difference between some of the talks we have online and offline. I'm still holding out, for the American way, because mostly, Paul, because I know what the alternative is and I don't like it.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
If we can avoid the alternative, that's the ultimate goal. I don't think we can, but give it every effort.
Yeah,
Well,
and I'm gonna vote, but I'll also remind you that I've been right about everything so far. So, and
is that humor? Was that more humor?
No, that's just flat out facts.
Okay.
But my current predictions still stand. my current predictions still stand in order of likelihood: police state, Civil War II, balkanization. So we'll see how it plays out.
My prediction is Trump 2024, Tulsi Gabbard as vice president.
Yeah, well, politically,
and all our problems will be solved.
Well, no. Politically, that might not be a bad move because she would bring, more independence and so forth. But as far as fixing things, she's not going to fix anything.
Well, as far as predictions go, I'd like to see Trump get back into office. The problem with that is, and I'm not using what they did as an excuse because that's their objective. The problem is I also don't want him to come in and affable as he did on his first term.
I think that if he does come in, though, I think that knowing what he knows from the last term he did, that he will not allow it. Because as a president, he could have stopped a lot of stuff. He could have done. Yeah. He could have He really could have gone ballistic on him, and he didn't.
Yeah. Well,
this time he's got 4 years. He has to. He has no choice but to crush them. That's what you have to do. Crush them.
He's been saying the right words, that he recognizes he had a lot of bad personnel choices, things like that. But we need Trump on freaking psychedelics and meth or something. You know what I mean?
Mega super Trump.
And the problem is he's a civic nationalist.
Yeah.
We need Franco Trump, the guy willing to, I'm going to suspend the fucking Constitution and fix this shit. And then when I'm done, I'll relinquish power. You know.
That's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. I think he can easily get weighed down again with this nonsense. So that's why I'm hoping. And again, it makes sense. I'm hoping that these midterms crush like the Pelosi's and and the Schiffs and the Schumers and at least force them into retirement or take an ambassadorship and go ruin another country or with your freaking arthritic hand. I can't stand her.
Oh my God!
But
can't even look at her.
And then on the 2024, come in and have a clear path for at least some destruction, politically speaking. But yeah, I just that's where I start losing faith in the whole process.
Well, here's the reason that I'm sort of embrace accelerationism, or I'm a collapsitarian. By the way, I believe.
Hence Dr. Doom.
Yes,
and gloom.
I believe. Well, I think that's the only way to fix it is bloodshed, lots of it, and then we come through on the other side to a better place. That is my base understanding of the only way it gets fixed. But speaking of Pelosi, I believe again yesterday she reiterated that there's no doubt that they're going to keep the House.
Oh yeah, of course. Why wouldn't she? Would you admit defeat prematurely?
Yeah, but that is so far out of reality that
so is she. And I know what you're getting at, and I'm going to jump on it. You're getting at the point that she thinks she knows something that we don't know, just like they did the last election. Like they're so cocky because they already know the fix is in. But I just don't. We talked about this before also. It's not that easy to fix these local elections and these state elections, as it is a federal process. But I think there's a lot of if you also notice, you got the likes of that two chicken bucket eating woman up in Stacey, what's her name, talking about. She's already talking about, well, if we lose, they cheated. They're already laying down that gauntlet, and there's no. Everybody on this call knows there's no election deniers on the left, right?
Stacey Abrams, M1.
Yeah, Stacey Abrams. Yeah, that pig.
Well, the first time that she lost by a big margin. It wasn't even close.
And she still hasn't admitted she lost, but she's not a denier.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, the regime just came out today and put out some election concerns, fraudulent by mal actors.
Yep.
So I don't trust these guys as far as
and the propagandists at The View were talking about. They already set it up. If we lose, they cheated.
Yeah.
And I totally expected them to say that. Of course they would be, and then Pelosi.
Every election they lost in the past 20 years, they've said it.
And Pelosi came out, and I kind of expected this too. I wasn't even surprised when she said, basically said, if Trump doesn't come and testify in front of our kangaroo court, he's just a chicken. Basically just called him out like she's in freaking 6th grade. You chicken, you won't. I would, if I was Trump, I would be tempted to go. I would be tempted to pull my pants down and take a big crap right on the desk, right? Under oath. But they're
what are you doing? What are you doing, Mr. Trump?
Well, what does it look like? I'm taking a shift.
I think he offered to come testify as long as they did it live, public.
And I said they wouldn't allow that.
And he said no way. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why? She's out of a job. Okay. Next time you get a cup of coffee at Starbucks, it might be Liz Cheney giving it to you.
Yeah. We'll see. But anyway, the whole thing's a mess. And this crap going on in Ukraine. Listen closely, people. Ukraine is getting its ass kicked.
It is.
Contrary to what you're hearing in the media, we've got United States people on the ground directing
Got the
And
101st over there, baby.
well, the 101st is what, in Poland or Romania or some
Yep.
shit.
Yep.
But we've got dudes on the ground, calling the shots. You know, they're wearing Ukrainian uniforms with U.S. and Ukraine patches on them. You can see the photos if you
Oh,
want.
they're pushing for a war because this is no longer
Yeah.
a proxy war.
Right. And here's the thing. This is an existential threat to their power. After what happened in Afghanistan, if they lose in Ukraine, it all falls apart. All of it. NATO, U.S., Pax Americana is gone. That's gone anyway.
Well, yeah, NATO is inept and it's impotent right now, as you can see. But
But my concern is that they light something off, like you heard today with this
the dirty
bomb.
bomb red flag, yeah, that's a false flag.
And Shoigu's like calling up everybody. You know, I'm getting everybody on the phone. This is bullshit.
Well,
This is a false flag incoming. You know,
I don't trust a freaking Ukrainian Nazi. I'm telling you.
Well, Shoigu is the Russian defense minister.
No. I'm just saying as an aside. I don't trust a Ukrainian Nazi because that's what they are.
Yeah, they're Banderites. These are bad dudes, man.
Yeah. That's a corrupt country that probably should be turned into a giant Walmart.
I think they just give it to let Putin take it, let him have it, be done with it.
For some strange reason, Joe, it seems like we have interest over there.
Yeah, we do.
Well, I don't know. Biden has a lot of interest over there, with the oil companies over there, and he's in bed with them.
Yeah.
Kidding me?
Dude, that is only the beginning. There's
right.
The biolab stuff. There's massive human trafficking that goes on in
you know how the Democrats like the human trafficking.
Yep.
They do.
Almost as much as death. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pelosi's got to get that blood, right? She has to get that baby blood.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's the best she can look like. That's just man, oh man. But it's pretty disturbing. Yeah, it's pretty disturbing stuff over there, and it's way too volatile for my liking. But
yeah, this is very uncomfortable.
And it's very close to an election for them to do something to make it. I could see them making a federal case and mooting the election at that point.
Right. I mean, World War III kicks off. All bets are off. Whatever happens during the election is going to be called Russian interference, and we're not going to seat the new Congress. Whatever.
And by the way, all of the inflation it would be directly as a result of this war.
Yeah.
So there'd be all kinds of cover for the left.
And even if it doesn't go that way, they're going to blame the continuing economic problems. All of a sudden, it's going to be the Republicans' fault, although they'll not be able to do anything.
What do you mean all of a sudden? They're saying now it's the Republicans' fault.
Yeah, well, I mean, once the elections are gone, if the new Congress comes in, every problem is going to be due to them, even though they're going to have no power at all.
Right.
All they can do is stop Biden from doing things.
Right, and then the propaganda machine will kick in. And why? By the way, why did Ted Cruz go on The View? What is wrong with him?
I don't know, man.
You never step over the line and go on one of those shows. All they're looking is for a soundbite.
Yeah, Trump does the same thing. He sat down with freaking Woodward.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know what? He was trying to.
Joe.
No. Don't Joe me. I know he was trying to be the bigger person. Here's the trouble. See, the Republicans mostly are human, and we believe in, justice for everybody. We believe in the American way. And it's very difficult for us Republicans to turn like a Democrat. I don't know how else to explain it. But
well, here's the thing: we're not in that world anymore. And for him to
of course we're not. I think wasn't that we were supposed to even discuss tonight how to communicate with the Democrat? You can't. There's no communication. They don't want to hear anything. It's their way or the highway. You listen to me. I don't listen to you. I'm right. You're wrong. There is no communication. There is no dialogue.
No bridge.
there is no bridge. There is no.
And he was trying. He was, his idea of going on there was to show you that, we have a dialogue. We can disagree. We can talk about, that's really the way it should be. But
Right,
it can't.
He's
It can't
done this.
happen.
He's done this for 7 years.
You know
Sitting
what?
down with these
He's
people.
trying. He thinks. You know what? That's all I can tell you. It wasn't. He really wants it to be this way. It's not gonna. It's never gonna. Maybe he learned this time. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. The 700th time is the charm.
Okay, Mr. Gloom and Doom. You give nobody a break, do you?
I don't.
Nobody.
We are past trying to treat with these people. There
I'll
are
tell you, I will say,
irreconcilable differences here.
I will say that Ted Cruz doesn't have an excuse. He had no excuse for doing that. He knows better. And no, I get your point, Joe. It's the olive branch. It's the civil handshake. It's the let's get along. It's the compromise. It's the 60-40 or it's the 80-20. Unfortunately, a show like that in particular, I don't think they've ever actually said anything in that show that was true.
I agree. I mean, and he was pushing. He did write a book. He wanted to get his book out there too. Wrong place to try to promote a right wing book though.
Yeah. The View viewers are going to go out and buy his book. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay.
and that's what I think about Ted Cruz. He's a brilliant guy, and so what was going through his head, I have no idea. Other than the fact that maybe he thought, and like I might think this myself, that I can go on that show and they're not going to get a soundbite out of me. Maybe he thought I'm going to go on that show and I'm going to say what I need to say and I'm going to cut through all the BS and all the freaking abortion-laden liberal women sitting in the audience are going to suddenly want to take me home and make a poster out of me. Maybe that's what he thought. I don't know.
Maybe.
But and he's not running. I mean, the guy's not running for president right now. It wasn't like he needed that. I'm just that was a little confusing. And then one thing that drove me crazy about Trump was during the campaign, the lock me up speeches, or chants rather, that went on and on and on. And then the first thing you do when you got in office is this, nah, we're not going to lock her up.
Yeah.
That was probably a mistake.
Again, I think he was trying to.
Yeah, I believe you're right. He was trying to be civil.
Like I said, I don't think. Listen, if he gets in again and he does this and makes the same mistakes, well, that's stupid. But he should. If he gets in again, he should take a step back and say, "Hey, remember what happened to me? Now I'm going to show you how it's done."
Yeah, I mean, I get he didn't commit as a politician, but even so, he's a businessman. He knows better.
Right.
Yeah.
So, well, his art of the deal didn't work with Congress. Okay, it didn't work with the Democratic Party. Like I said, you're talking about blood sucking, dead from the neck up people.
Well, if he went in with a couple of gallons of holy water, that would have helped.
That would have helped. The vampire kit.
Yeah.
Silver bullets and all.
There would have been some spontaneous combustion going on. So, but
anyway. Yeah. This is all venting. I would like to remind our viewers that we do have an election coming up, so get out and vote. It's your civic duty.
rock the vote.
And I will also mention a curious piece of trivia. November 8th is a total lunar eclipse.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as a blood moon.
QCCR.
Yeah. I wonder what sort of incantations and things are going to be going on in the Democrat Party on that night.
I know. Keep your infants close to you at that night, because they'll be disappearing, especially as the votes come in.
Don't be out wandering near a graveyard at midnight. If you're in a blue
state,
you're gonna find some coven out there performing unholy rituals.
Yeah, it's pretty sick stuff. I forget her name too. A young Hollywood actress we just came out, pretty much said it's not even. They don't even hide it now. They're just walking. They're demonic and satanic, and they're just walking around proudly out in Hollywood. The whole
and they've been
cult.
doing that for a while. If
Yeah.
you know what to look for, you can see the symbols.
Yeah.
They have hand gestures.
Right.
They have little charms that they wear. If you know what to look for. These are sick people, man.
Yeah. But and here we sit, waiting for an election in 13 or 14 days. So.
Yeah. Well,
anyway.
it'll be fun. And how about we do a live stream?
Yeah.
Election
Thinking
night.
about it.
We can talk about it. Yeah, we'll discuss it. But I think that'll be interesting.
All right, guys. What do you say we wrap it up for the night and we come back and do another vent session?
That sounds good to me. I've got plenty of anger and hatred on tap.
On tap.
And
good night from New Germany.
Anytime we need it.
Cool.
Shoot straight.
And
Shoot
yes,
straight.
and remember to get all your friends, go out and vote. Get their friends. Make sure you try and register some people. Do what you got to do.
And
if they're Democrats, discourage them from voting.
vote early and vote often.
The future of our democracy is at stake.
Oh Lord, we're gonna hear that when the Republicans win. Our democracy is in jeopardy now. We have to do something between now and January.
Yeah.
And by the way, why are we the only country in the freaking civilized world that gets elected in November but doesn't take office till January? Jeez,
Yeah.
It gives them a little time to straighten shit out before the new administration comes in. Well,
all right, guys, I'm out.
On that note, I'm out. I'll talk to you later.
All
All
right.
right. Take
Good
care,
night,
guys.
everybody.
Have a good night.